Face front, true believers. This is Modular Media's No Prize Podcast, a podcast where we talk about comics, movies, merchandise, and more. I am your host, Boingo Writer, and with me, as always, in the bullpen.
Representing the I finally finished my shelves competition, the Vacuuminator.
What about the thing to your other side?
Oh, this is my desk. I keep the stuff I like to mess with the most regularly here now.
Okay, cool. Because I was trying to go with the gag that your shelves might be clean, but your desk isn't.
Yeah. Well, I got a little workspace right here in the middle.
Oh, damn! Perfect place to put a model kit that you're building.
Yeah, might happen someday, maybe.
Damn. But you know what it is, everybody? It's time for a day unlike no other, which has come. We fucked that.
We're talking about the last two episodes of Avengers, everybody.
Yeah, we're talking
excited.
about it.
It's happening.
It's
and
happening.
We might have gotten the timing a bit wrong because we probably should have talking about the episode from last week and one of the episodes this week together and then done the final episode on its own.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're not perfect. One of us hasn't seen the show in a really long time, and one of us hasn't seen most of the show before. And also, like, it does kind of feel kind of apropos, because we'll talk about it a little bit more in a minute, but I would argue that the final episode does feel kind of like a rushed last minute. All right, we got to have a big epic finale to give the show some finality. Also, hi to the folks in the chat: Buster Corp, Tim Shields, Axel T, and Zaya Enterprise America, all sounding off. Welcome out, fellas.
Hello. We're going to be talking about Avengers. It was a last minute thing. You're not wrong. It's just more of like, you can kind of tell.
Yeah.
So let's just finish up the Kree storyline, because they're on the Kree homeworld of Hela.
Mm-hmm. And it's basically like a it's interesting because it's almost like a more sci-fi take on the third act of the Captain Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Because it's literally just Marvel goes and confronts the Kree intelligence, and also the Avengers are there.
Yeah, but it also is a giant parody of Die Hard.
A little bit, yeah. I didn't think of that, but I can see that, yeah.
I mean, it's in the name, live free or die.
Yeah.
Hard. I still can't. I can't tell Galactus comes to the MCU and kills everybody. That's gonna happen eventually. Have more Thor stuff in the final boss like Ragnarok, but don't quote me on that. Yeah, that's Die Hard Man.
Die Hardman. I'm John Die Hardman. Nice to meet you.
You do realize that's a character, right? In the video game Death Stranding, there is a character literally named Die Hard Man.
Okay, I was gonna say I have seen Die Hard. I thought his name was John McClane.
No, he's a character in a Hideo Kojima game.
Mm-hmm. Also, thanks for the Marvel spoiler, Zaya. That is the one kind of spoiler I will accept. Tell me who was cute in the movie. I need to know if there's cute people.
Tell me, that's the only spoiler Vac will want to know about the Supergirl movie. Was she uwu kawaii desu?
Oh man, now that you've read the comic, I think you know there's not going to be anything like that in that movie unless they take a lot of creative liberties.
There's a moment you could put a kawaii desu moment.
True. The moment in the second issue when they're at the cafe.
Yeah. So is Galactus like really powerful? Yes, he is one of basically, the best way to put it is he is one of the constants of the multiverse. Of Galactus needs to exist for the universe to function.
Yeah, there will always be a Galactus, and he will always consume the universe, and then the universe will start over again. It's a whole thing.
Well, and Galactus
John McClane doesn't become Die Hard Man until Die Hard 4. Good to know. Learning our Die Hard lore tonight.
Motherfuckers like 4 Megazords on top of each other. Yeah. But let's finish the Kree storyline. It's just fun. The Kree intelligence is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Supreme intelligence.
Is he often depicted as like a big old cabbage head man?
That's how he's always depicted.
Okay, because I only know the movie where it's just like an AI voice that turns into an actress lady.
No, the Kree Supreme Intelligence is always a big cabbage head.
Excellent. I
Um,
love you, Jack Kirby.
there's also a reference to the actual origin of the Kree, where they basically kill a bunch of Skrull people just investigating and science shit and fucking decimate the Katati.
Yeah, they accidentally kick off the war that they're the bad guys in.
Yeah, they're the ones who do it. And here's the thing: they didn't do it while being spacefaring. They did it by just being like cavemen.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you don't know who the Katati are, they were the recent bad guys in a semi-recent Marvel event, Empire.
Yeah, they're the plant people.
They're
They're
the
the
plant
plant
people,
aliens.
not the Groot plant people. They're two different plant people.
Mm-hmm. There's many different plant people out there in the universe.
Um,
You'll learn.
it's always more powerful than Kang. Galactus is more powerful than Kang.
Mm-hmm.
But Galactus is more often treated as a force of nature than as a character.
Yeah. And we'll get into that in a little bit more in just a moment here. We really should have had two slides tonight so we could have kept more focused. But yeah, it's a fairly good episode. I do like how it kind of winds down and leaves off on like a hopeful note. You do definitely feel like this is how the season was supposed to end, of just like, yeah, there's a bright future ahead for the Kree, but they got a lot of work to do, just like humanity. Ooh, isn't that a nice little sci-fi hopeful point right there?
Yeah, Galactus does hang out with Eternity, Love, and Hate, and the In-Betweener, and all those guys.
Mhm.
Eternity, Death. There's four of them. It's Eternity, Death, Entropy, I think it is, and there's a fourth one. I can't remember. They're not as catchy as the D ones in DC.
Yeah.
But I do. There's a couple fun moments in this of Captain America going like, "You're not messing with him. He's ours. He's an Avenger, bitch."
Yeah. It's a big triumphant moment for T'Challa to come back and save some asses.
Yeah, it's all around. It's all around good sum up and wrap up of the Kree storyline.
Yeah, it would have been a solid season finale.
And much like in the original comics, we kind of end one storyline and immediately, oh, it's Galactus shit.
Yep. Though I will admit, I was a little thrown when I started the episode because, like, nothing about the title or the description on Disney Plus hints at it being Galactus.
Yeah.
So I started it up, and I'm like, "Oh, we're just straight up stealing a Fantastic Four storyline for the final episode." Okay.
Oh, it's so good, and it's not even like the original. It is so weird playing Panther.
It's like a weird amalgamation of the original Coming of Galactus and like Fantastic Four the End.
But it's also like there's a little bit of like the John Byrne Return of Galactus.
Mm-hmm. And on the same level, there's like almost no characterization for Galactus as a character, because Galactus has gotten quite a bit of development and characterization as the Marvel Universe has gone on in the comics. But here he is
he doesn't even have a line.
Yeah, he's less characterized than he is in the original comic, which is kind of crazy. Though I do like the choice they make of like, yeah, we're doing the Coming of Galactus, but we're not doing the Coming of Galactus. The Silver Surfer isn't here. We're not going to break out the Ultimate Nullifier. Reed Richards and co will be involved, but this is very much the Avengers handling Galactus's first arrival on Earth.
Yeah. But we do have some classic Galactus heralds. We have Terrax.
Yeah, Terrax, Firelord, Airwalker, and one other I didn't recognize.
It's the water one.
Yeah, the water person. Water person, my favorite character.
Are there any good Galactus stories, classic or modern, to check out a more nuanced take on the character? Yes. I can't remember what it is. It was by Al Ewing recently.
There is that, but there's also like everything that happened during the Wade and Waringo run with him.
Mm-hmm. Because he also gets majorly depowered there too.
Mm-hmm.
There's
There's a
also
whole arc where Godzilla, Jesus Christ, Galactus. I was just watching the new Monarch episode, everybody. I'm sorry. But there's a major arc where Galactus gets turned back into just a dude, and you get to see just how arrogant he has become comparatively.
to read the Galactus daughter one shot. Oh god, we were joking about that before we started the
Yeah, I
podcast.
was thinking when Boingo sent me the thumbnail, I'm like, it looks like he's trying to FaceTime Galactica.
There's also, it's kind of relevant, but there is a mini series called like the end of the Marvel Universe, or like the history
Isn't it just a one shot? It's called The History of the Marvel
I think
Universe.
it's like a couple. I think it's like 4 or 5 issues.
Yeah, it's literally just a retrospective of all the major events in Marvel, told from the perspective of Franklin Richards and Galactus having a conversation at the end of the universe.
Yeah, which is like, it's neat. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but the main thing here is it's Iron Man is having one of his standard Iron Man existential moments, wondering about his and the Avengers' place in history, and Cap's just like, ah, don't worry, bro, we'll handle it. And then fucking Galactus comes out of nowhere with some of the worst CGI rocks I've ever seen in my life. Um, and then it's like, okay, all hands on deck, we're going to deal with this. And it is literally every super character we've seen in the show up till that point split into teams, handling the various heralds and their machines. And then eventually the science team that's directly confronting Galactus figures out, like, oh, he eats by converting the earth into antimatter. Let's just stick him in an antimatter universe so he's
Give him a
always
buffet.
sated and he never comes back, which I think is a nice alternate solution to whipping out the ultimate nullifier.
Aki's right. This is a decent finale. It is quick. It is a little slapdash, but it is good. It's not a bad version of the Galactus story.
I am not a master of CGI rocks, Buster. I just saw those and I was like, even by the standard of when this episode came out, that looks pretty rough. Like, that's the one time in the animation where you can tell, like, oh, they had to rush to get this finale done.
But everybody teams up. It's all fun. It's all cool. No one has lines other than Spider-Man.
Yep. And none of his lines are funny. They're all very clumsy, just like, say a thing here, say a thing here.
Cap, what's going on, man? The Accumulator, master of CGI rocks.
That is my official title. Thank you very much.
But it's it is kind of clear that they didn't get it. He was voiced by Drake.
Yeah, this was a Drake Bell episode.
And you know why he probably got voice lines? Because they were probably already recording lines for the Spider-Man cartoon.
Yeah, that, and they might have, like, it might have been like, because Josh Keaton recorded episodes for that first episode Spider-Man's in. So I wonder if it was like he came back in to re-record those lines plus the lines for New Avengers plus this all on the same day.
Who knows? Who knows? But it's overcomplicated, Buster. But these are just Jack Kirby ass lines.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. It's just some goofy loops.
Jack Kirby, master of what the fuck detail.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. Chaos in the chat.
This is what having an active chat gets you.
But yeah, no, Galactus, fun, cool to see. I can't, depending on who's drawing Galactus, and this is one of those times, I cannot see him I cannot unsee him wearing a baseball hat.
Well, thanks for that.
You see it too, don't you?
Thanks for that.
Drake Bell is no longer a Drake. He is just Bell now because the Council of Drakes have decreed it so. Good.
Welcome to the chat, Drake Jog. You picked an excellent line to come in with there.
But yeah,
All
no, Galactus fun. They handled the Eye and Mask a lot. A lot of black scalares are cool. Oh, black scalares are always cool. I wish there were
Mhm.
more of those in comics, but like the only other one I can think of is Gambit.
Why do people hate Drake Bell as Spider-Man? To briefly summarize, he replaced a voice actor a lot of people liked. It's a subpar performance in a garbage show, and Drake Bell also turned out to be a horrible human being several years afterwards.
So it's just an overall like, oh shit, fuck, kind of thing.
Mhm.
Oh, one thing I mentioned, I don't remember seeing Invisible Woman at all previously in the show.
She was like barely in the first episode that featured the FF, because that was the episode where Doom kidnaps her and goes like, "Look, it's a scroll."
Yeah, I love how they show off her invisibility powers.
Yeah, that one shot where her and a couple other characters are like sliding down, that was a really cool
Because
choice.
normally when you animate the Invisible Woman and her powers, it's just like blue discs.
Hmm.
But here it's just like no, it's that kind of wavy predator thing. It
Yeah,
works. It's worked
which is
really
probably
good.
what it would be like, honestly.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was overall good finale. Not the best it could have been.
Hmm.
I don't remember.
I did not keep up with the case. I just know about the allegations coming out. I didn't even know if
I
the case was over, honestly.
I think he pled guilty.
Hmm. But we're not here to discuss that tonight. We're here to like give final thoughts on Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which is that like I definitely get why people like this show now. I think it's a solid um interpretation of the Marvel universe through the eyes of one team. Maybe not the best adaptation at times, but it's definitely worth checking out if you haven't already.
And like you can see the comparisons to Justice League. Like it is trying to be the Marvel Universe version of the Justice League cartoon.
Yeah.
It just didn't get the chance to really like achieve that goal.
And it also just like didn't really have the build up that that show had that lent it some of the gravitas it got as it went
Yeah.
on. Also, just for clarity, Aki and Buster did both say Drake Bell was not proven innocent in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah, last great hurrah for the Marvel cartoons before the homogenous Disney cartoons happened. Yeah.
Mhm.
But
To
hey,
be
we also got some
fair,
of the anime.
I have heard good things about parts of Avengers Assemble and the Spider-Man cartoon that came after Ultimate Spider-Man. I've
Yeah.
not checked them out myself, but I've heard good things.
This could have been Justice League Unlimited if not for Loeb. Yeah. Jeff Loeb is always kind of I wouldn't say a person who like holds it back.
Mhm.
Oh, Axel, great place for a segue because we have finished Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and there's only a
Mhm.
little bit time left in the month. So we
In the
thought,
year.
I mean, I am both, I am also
You're
right.
right on both accounts, but we're talking about the year in general.
So we decided, hey, why don't we do a little movie marathon? You know?
So, um, since like Boingo is usually the chief of staff here at the No Prize podcast, he graciously let me decide 5 movies we're going to be taking a look at across the Sundays in the month of December, assuming everything goes to plan. Um, and why don't we run down those and kind of our expectations real quick?
The first one we're going to be doing, the one we're going to be talking about next week is, if the slideshow would move forward, The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah. Um, it's going to be really interesting to revisit this one for me because I haven't, I want to say, since before Far From Home came out, but I do remember still back then really liking the Andrew Garfield duology. And like I still have very fond feelings for it. So I'm definitely looking forward to rewatching this one.
I am curious just because of like trying to see how it is, because I remember it being a very ultimate, but not with any of the joy.
In ways, I would say it definitely takes inspiration.
Are we going to stream them on Discord or do them privately? We're going to talk about them on the podcast like we normally do with the shows, but maybe
Yeah,
we
we're going
could
to watch
stream
them in our own time, as
Yeah.
far as I know. Like, December's an already busy month, so tacking that on top of our schedules would be a bit much.
Her people hate Andrew Spider-Man. I don't think people hate Andrew Spider-Man. I think they hate Andrew Peter Parker.
I always understood it as, like, people hate, like, it's weird. People don't like those movies because they were really attached to the Raimi-verse, and there was also this growing sentiment of just give it back to Marvel, Sony. They're doing such a good job at the time. And now a lot of people tend to look back at it as like, no, this guy was a great Spider-Man. He was just trapped in between a bunch of weird bullshit.
Yeah. But that's not all we're going to be doing.
Yep.
Next movie after that, we're going to be talking about Batman versus Dracula.
This one right here, this is a childhood favorite. It is a hood classic. I am very much looking forward to revisiting it, especially because I introduced it to some friends for the first time a few years back, and they were all like, holy moly, this is way better than most of the Timverse Batman movies. And like, why does nobody ever talk about this on that level? So, like, my memories of it are very faded at this point, but I am definitely looking forward to seeing if I agree with them on that. And like, I have very fond memories of the Batman open bracket 2004 close bracket show in general. So just getting a bit of that vibe back in my life will be nice.
The Batman was a good cartoon. It has one of the most interesting Jokers. I don't remember, is the Joker in the movie?
I don't think Joker is in this movie. I think it is purely just Batman and Dracula.
Also, if I remember right, this takes a little bit of
wait, I just remembered a little bit of the movie. Joker and Penguin do both make a very slight appearance.
Yeah. I think, doesn't this also like adapt a little bit of that one Elseworld story, Blood Rain?
I think you could argue that, but I don't know if they were taking that as direct inspiration.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying, like, it was like, hey, Batman deals with vampires every once in a while. We can do that.
Yeah, and I mean, like, a little fun fact about my stupid kid ass, until I actually started watching some superhero stuff and I just, like, saw Batman imagery occasionally, I always assumed Batman was a vampire as a kid.
Yeah, I mean, they do that a lot.
Hmm.
But the next one we're talking about, the 90s Spawn movie.
It's happening, boys. We're finally talking about Spawn on the No Prize podcast. The greatest media property of the 90s. Move over, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Maybe if we talk about Spawn, Todd will just give us toys.
Yeah, Todd, please. This is like really, really nice, free, unpaid promotion. You should really reimburse us. Send us each like a big case of DC Multiverse figures. Just the like classic design figures, but a nice big case, please.
Maybe the new movie will finally come out right when Todd McFarlane can let go of his ego.
We like, as we're doing the episode, the trailer drops.
Jesus, that would be so fucking wild. But yeah, no, we're gonna talk about Spawn and Spawn. I didn't realize this was made by New Line Cinema, the house that Freddy built. What is Spawn's real name? I can't remember.
Al Simmons.
Al Simmons, that's his name. You can call me Al.
Hmm.
He's
a bit weird.
My bodyguard, I can be long, pal. You want to show the people the next movie we're talking about after Spawn?
next movie.
We're going to talk about the original 1979 Superman movie.
The first genuinely great superhero movie. The first one I think can genuinely be called like a piece of cinema if you want to be a film snob about it.
Yeah. That and the Donner Cut of 2.
And I'm not going to lie, I have been itching to rewatch this movie all year. It's just something that's been in the back of my mind since I want to say like maybe June of just like, yeah, that movie is really fucking good. And I have a Max subscription now. I should just sit down and rewatch it at some point. So now I have a fucking content reason to do so.
Ooh, yeah, we're gonna talk about some soup. We're gonna talk about some Superman. Buster says it's still a banger, so that's good.
Nice.
And finally, the last
The
movie
movie that will close out the No Prize podcast in 2023.
hey, let's get fantastic. We're watching the Fantastic Four movie.
We're doing it, boys! We're really doing it! We're gonna get in it now! I'm so excited. I've actually never seen it.
I haven't either.
I've heard the legends, and I am excited to discover the truths.
Oh, everything about this movie is just hilarious. No. Okay, Axel. Back in the 90s, Fox owned the rights to make a Fantastic Four movie. However, there's a provision in the contract that says they have to make a movie within a certain amount of time. And that time was coming up. So they made a quick ramshackle movie production with the plan of never releasing the movie just to keep the rights in the 90s. And this is that movie.
It was also like a Roger Corman production, and Roger Corman is like one of the most famous schlock filmmakers of all time. However, to its credit, everyone who has watched the pirated copies and is an FF fan says that this is genuinely like a fun movie and better than the Chris Evans one.
Mm. But we'll talk about the Fantastic Four. But that's not all we're doing. I'm leading you into a segue so you can announce the next thing.
Oh, yes. Well, you see, I like to do a monthly live stream over on my personal channel at The Vacuuminator here on YouTube. And this next Saturday is the time for one of those streams to happen. And I had Buster on for the last one, ranking every season of Power Rangers. And I figured, you know what? It's only fun, it's only fair if I also extend that privilege over to Mr. Boingo here. And well, there's only one media property that both of us have a similar level of knowledge on and can kind of cover all of it in one stream. Only one topic that would be really that fun to do together, especially in the tier list format, which I've gotten kind of into doing. I know the meme's dying out a little, but like, hey, it's still fun. So we are going to be doing a tier list stream of the entire MCU up until this point. This Saturday on my channel at The Vacuuminator at 2 p.m. EST, basically until we finish it. Hopefully it won't be like super long, but like the one with Buster ran about 2 hours, so I'm thinking this will be similar, and it'll probably be a good time.
Yeah, we're gonna
probably
argue.
Be some surprises.
Oh, there's probably gonna be some surprises. Oh. I just say everything's B to A tier, you know?
Yeah.
That joke.
That'll be a funny.
That would be a funny. But hey, that's a lot of announcements we made. But you know what?
Other people have been making announcements.
Other people have been making announcements. Thank you for picking up on the thing I was saying.
And it's at least partially our job to cover them for this show. And by cover them, I mean sneer and jeed and jide and make comments.
We joke, we jolly. Bejubbles.
Bejubble.
What? You've never bejubled?
You can't just say words, Boingo.
I can say words. What, did you think the word elbow came out of nothing? No, William Shakespeare made up the word elbow.
I'm well aware of the history of the word elbow. Thank you very much. I have been on Tumblr.com.
So why couldn't jubal be a new word, huh?
Because you're not a playwright.
No, I'm a podcaster. That makes me just as important. This is the equivalent of Ohio Riz.
I don't know what that is, but I think it's hilarious.
I think those shows are on the thing.
I will double check the tier list we agreed to use.
Yeah, they might be. If not, we can add them.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Like I said, but there'll be surprises during that stream.
Yeah. You're talking. Are you talking about news?
I am always ready to talk about news.
Hey, guess what?
What?
There's a deleted scene from WandaVision that shows that Jimmy Woo was looking for Ralph Boner.
How about that? Oh my god, so funny. Why did they cut this? What? Why? There, I covered everything you can say about it.
Yeah, it happened. Whatever.
Yeah. Like, definitely could have stayed in, but it doesn't, like, ruin the show that they cut it.
No. Yeah.
Well, they released it, though.
Yeah, that's cool.
Now we won't have, like, 70 articles about how that's a giant dangling plot thread that the MCU is just leaving there.
We're basically in the WandaVision. Yeah, WandaVision's done. This is cool.
Yeah.
And anybody who was complaining of like, oh man, I wish he was actually Quicksilver. Guess what? Things are moving in the direction. You may see them sooner or later. Deadpool 3 might happen, you know?
Yeah. We're very aware there are possibilities.
Why was Ralph played by the one guy who played Quicksilver in the X-Men movies? Because you were supposed to think of him being Quicksilver in the X-Men movies as sort of like meta misdirection.
Mm-hmm. Like, they were literally fucking with you.
Yeah.
That was part of the point of the show, and yet people still got mad with it because there are people who can't understand the concept of kayfabe.
Yeah. But next bit of news, WGA has threatened legal action against Amazon for keeping certain shows on hold after the strike ended. The Silk series is one of the shows still suspended.
It is ass! Go after Jeff! Do it! Do it! I dare you! I fucking dare you, please!
Beat Jeff's ass! He destroyed comicology.
Yeah. Also, like, was anyone actually looking forward to the Silk show?
No, it doesn't matter.
Even aware that there was a Silk show coming?
Let the writers get paid. Fuck it. Hashtag fuck it.
Hashtag fuck it. That's the new No Prize podcast motto.
Hashtag fuck it, aka the plotline for Silk when Dan Slott wrote her.
Oh! He did it!
I did it! Good joke! I'm funny!
I forgot there was a Silk show and now I'm sad. Well, Buster, that's what it means to be a fan.
Yeah, well, hey, they're making a Silk show. Maybe.
Forgot too.
DC Universe, reportedly safe from controversial Batgirl and Coyote Acme cancellation.
So this rumor sprung up again of people being really worried about the new direction for the DC universe, out of the whole Coyote versus Acme situation, which is understandable. But there's also, like, James Gunn answered this directly, I want to say, like, 6 months ago, when DC Studios officially became its own separate company. But Peter Safran did go ahead and give another quote when asked by an interviewer during an unrelated interview of just like, yeah, we're our own separate company. We make the final decisions about what gets greenlit and what doesn't. There's no oversight on that level.
Yep. But hey, yeah. I hope someone picks up Coyote versus Acme. It sounds very funny. It probably will get picked up.
Yeah. I'm not too worried about it. I heard there's some prospective buyers.
Heard most of the actors who played on Justice League will get recast. Yes, that has been confirmed.
Yeah, pretty much everybody's getting recast at this point.
Yeah, I think the only ones that aren't are anybody that was in the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker.
Yeah, the Aquaman movie is probably going to be the last hurrah for the Snyderverse as we knew it.
Yeah. Though I wouldn't be mad if Jason Momoa kept on being Aquaman because people like while it's not a true to comics interpretation of Aquaman, people like Aquaman. Also, Blue Beetle. Aki's right. Blue Beetle will also probably still remain.
Yeah, people in general like that version of Aquaman. And I agree, I liked the first movie. I'm low-key looking forward to the second one. But I did actually speak to some hardcore Aquaman comics fans recently, and they were both like, yeah, those movies are fine, but Jason Momoa ain't Aquaman.
Yeah, he's playing Thor in the DC universe.
Yeah.
But hey, DC is safe from tax cuts.
How about that?
Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom new trailer release. It's a trailer.
Yeah. It's very much the same as the second one. You get a few new bits here and there, a couple new shots of Orm being all Ormy, and a more explicit thing about like, yes, Black Manta is going to kidnap the baby, and it's going to be a big plot point because something about the royal bloodline being able to unlock a special MacGuffin thing. It's a whole deal. It's going to be a movie.
Royal blood. Give me some piranhas. Give me a hook hand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Wouldn't that be amazing if they if the end of the movie is him getting the hook hand and being like, what's gonna happen to Aquaman now that he's like this, and then just that's the end of the fucking Snyderverse.
Was the Arrowverse part of this? No, it wasn't part of DCEU. It was its own separate thing.
Yeah.
Next up, what's next? Oh, we got casting for Lex Luthor.
Yeah, a lot of Superman Legacy casting happened this week, starting off with Nicholas Hoult getting cast as Lex Luthor. I haven't seen like too many opinions here or there about this, mainly because I just wasn't looking at social media mostly the day this came out. But I have to say, I'm actually pretty into this. You shave this guy's head, he actually kind of looks like comic book Lex, and he's a pretty decent actor. I only really know him from the later Fox X-Men movies.
Oh, someone did a Photoshop. Look at that.
Yeah, boy, that's perfect right there.
That is a perfect Lex.
Yeah, but like, I only know him from playing Beast in the later Fox X-Men movies, but he did a great job in those. He has some really good dramatic scenes as that character that I think show that he has the chops to do some Lex stuff.
Buster likes this. Zaya, I think it works. Got almost cast as Batman and Superman, but ended up as Lex Luthor. Mm-hmm. I could see him being a good Professor X, but Lex Luthor, just give him.
He got that perfect hater energy.
Get you a man that does both.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely down with this. I'm looking forward to this. I want to see if I'm now at the point where I'm like, all right, you can tell me all the casting news you want. I just want to see a photo of this guy, and I've forgotten his name, but the guy that's playing Superman in costume standing next to each other.
Lex Luthor did originally have hair in the DCEU. However, this isn't the DCEU. This is the DCU.
Yeah. Also, like, this is a thing in the comics that Lex has hair and then eventually loses it in some dramatic way that in some cases he directly blames Superman for.
Yeah. Or it's just like, it's a way to show him just being a certain form of vain and all that kind of stuff. It's a way to characterize Lex Luthor.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we got a Lex. You know what? We also got a Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah. Now this fella, what's his name again? Because I can't.
Skylar Gisondo.
Skylar Gisondo. I did IMDb this guy as soon as this news dropped because I was pretty hyped because just looking at his photo, this is premium, just a little guy. He looks like that perfect boyish redheaded Jimmy Olsen that I've always wanted in a movie. And like haven't gotten since the original Superman the movie. But I did IMDb him. He hasn't had any major roles. He's the kind of actor that's been in a lot of episodes of something. Like he was in an episode of Drake and Josh and so on and so it goes. But interesting to note, because this comic book podcast, we got to bring up any comic book production connections we can. He was in a Marvel movie. Do you want to guess what he did in a Marvel movie?
What did this guy do in a Marvel movie?
He played Gwen Stacy's younger brother in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh my god. Get small actors tired of seeing the same handfuls of dudes and stuff. Yeah. But that's a major problem with production studios in general in Hollywood right now.
Yeah. But like I said, there's nothing really that you can be like, oh, I know this guy from, so I know he's going to be good or he's going to be bad at this. But he had, just from his look alone, I'm like, he's got the right energy for Jimmy, so I'm okay with this right
And here's
now.
the thing: if they ever want to do Jimmy as a superhero, which they've done several times in the comic as jokes, he can pull it off.
Yeah.
He has the abs for it.
You think we're going to see Turtle Man?
Let's get Turtle Man up in here. Next up, Superman Legacy finds his Eve
Tessmacher.
Miss is that? What?
Miss Tessmacher.
Who is Miss Tessmacher?
Miss Tessmacher is Lex's henchwoman in Superman 1978.
Okay.
And she's
Why
been
not
in
just do
several
Mercy
adaptations.
Graves?
Because the pop culture zeitgeist knows Miss Tessmacher better than Mercy Graves.
All right.
It's just a weird thing. When they go to live action, they always do Miss Tessmacher, but when they go to animation, they always do Mercy. But I don't think Miss Tessmacher has like a big comic presence, at least as far as I know. But I did look at this lady. She's done very little acting so far. She's primarily known as a model, but for Eve Tessmacher, that kind of works.
You could even pull that off as Mercy Graves. All right, whatever.
I know you're attached to Mercy, but I'm excited that they're using Eve Tessmacher. I want to hear Nicholas Hoult shout, "Miss Tessmacher!"
Next up, Hunger Games director Francis Lawrence talks ending in Constantine 2 optimism. Oh, he directed Constantine.
Yeah, this is the guy who directed the oh god, what's his name? Actor man. Matrix.
There's several actor men.
Matrix Bill and Ted guy.
I know who you're talking about, but your brain fart's farting in my brain.
Oh, no, well, basically, he directed that one. He directed the 2000s Constantine movie, and he's in talks to direct this new one along with the actor Keanu Reeves. Thank you, Buster. He's in talks along with Keanu Reeves, and there was a time where we were like, oh, we don't know what's happening with that, with the DC universe getting revitalized and all this stuff. Now it appears they are still working on that, and he basically said, I had to take a break to do post-production on Hunger Games, but we're planning on getting back to work on it as soon as the holidays pass.
Also, there's a place for it in the DCU now. It's an Elseworld story.
Yeah. I'm almost certain that's gonna be what they'll do with it.
Do you think one Flash and Superman? Normally in those races, the Flash lets Superman win.
Yeah. Because the Flash can beat Superman, because Superman doesn't have access to the Speed Force. But Flash is a cool guy.
Yeah. But yeah, cool. Constantine 2. Hey, by the way, we understand. The proper pronunciation of it is Constantine. We're talking about the American movie adaptation, which is Constantine.
I think they call it Constantine in the show, too. I think that's just like the accepted pronunciation now.
No, only in America. If you talk to a Brit, they go like, no, Constantine.
Yeah, but I'm saying like in the Matt Ryan show, they say Constantine or Constantine. Goddamn.
Greg Capullo reveals he's officially turned to Marvel with Fantastic Four tease.
Yep, he put out an Instagram post saying that like the day he made that post, he had just signed a new contract with Marvel. I'm assuming that means he's exclusive with them for the time being, and apparently he's going to be working on something FF related.
Look at that! Look at that thing.
Which is exciting because the guy was mostly exclusive to DC for a good long while there. He got his start at Image. He was a Spawn artist for a good long while, but I think most modern people know him from being the main artist for Scott Snyder's Batman run. So to see him coming over to Marvel is pretty exciting.
Yeah, we're currently in comics news, Buster. Catch up, keep up.
It's an ever-changing world.
How the thing will look in the MCU? I hope it's going to be semi-practical.
Yeah, I hope it'll be cool. I hope it'll look like the comics.
Yeah. I hope it is saturated orange.
Yeah. Get some like good definition in those rocks too.
But Greg Capullo coming over to Marvel. Is he replacing the artist for the Ryan North series? Or are they doing a brand new
That would be
FF sub?
interesting to hear because I also like recently saw that the guy who did the art for Exterminators is like taking over the FF book at least for a little bit.
I hope it's just a Party City morph suit.
You would hope for that, Tim.
But yeah, no, Greg's great artist. Having him at Marvel is a fun thing. Yeah, it's starting to do the thing where it was like in the early '90s, where Marvel just has all the fucking banger artists.
Interesting, Matt.
Yeah,
Though DC does still have Dan Mora and Belquist Evely.
DC has those, but Marvel has Alex Ross, now Greg Capullo.
Mm-hmm. They also got Chris Chimie and I forget his name, but the guy who did Human Target. Everybody loves him.
Marvel has Peach Momoko.
Mm-hmm. DC has Mitch Gerrards.
DC does have James Gunn, but we're talking about comics right now.
Yeah, we're talking about comics.
Gotham Academy return to new DC story.
Yeah, the next arc of Batman and the Outsiders, I believe it is going to feature the return of two of the main characters from Gotham Academy. For those of you who aren't familiar, because it's from before the time of this show, Gotham Academy was this kind of like off the beaten path book DC did for like a year and a half that was basically a murder mystery show set inside like the most prestigious school in Gotham, kind of playing into like the sort of cute girls doing cool things manga subgenre, but with a Western comic book. And it was semi-successful. I remember people really liking it at the time. And one of the main characters actually recently cropped up in Birds of Prey as like a distant future version of her coming back to the present. And the present version of her is going to be in this arc, apparently. So for anyone who's a fan of that book, this should be interesting.
Yeah. It's happening. All right, time for this news. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers: The Return reveals new look at new Green Ranger Olivia Hart.
So, if those of you, for those of you outside of the Power Rangers sphere, Amy Jo Johnson, the actress who portrayed the original Pink Ranger Kimberly Hart, is doing her own version of a 30th anniversary Mighty Morphin Power Rangers story because she was too much of a vain, greedy twat to go to the actual reunion. And she wanted to have creative control and do it her way because she fancies herself a director and a writer. So her and her current partner are making their own comic adaptation, and part of that is it's an alternate future where Tommy and Kim got together and apparently they have a kid, and they made a big deal out of like, oh, we paid Dan Mora to do a custom design for this character, to which Boingo made the incredibly astute remark of, wow, so hard, you make a Green Ranger with boobs. It's just like it is blatant fan service to a part of the Power Rangers fandom that I really don't vibe with. And if I wasn't already kind of dreading this book, I am now definitely dreading this book. I don't want to fucking read this, but I probably will.
Yeah. I also made the other joke of, wasn't Olivia Hart the person who starred in Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
That would be that lady.
Melissa Joan Hart. That's it for the comic news.
I do remember that Power Rangers 2017 movie, mainly because there's a certain section of the Power Rangers fandom that won't let anyone forget that fucking movie.
That very middling movie. I do want Krispy Kreme now, though.
Yeah.
Krispy Kreme would fucking hit.
Krispy Kreme do be tasty. I haven't had it in a good long while, even though it's like on my way to work.
Wait.
I never
Hold on. Melissa Joan Hart also starred in God's Not Dead too?
She does like give that vaguely Christian, washed-up celebrity vibe.
Jesus Christ.
Was she in Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas?
Maybe. The worst. No, they're all bad. There's no worst one.
Tim, do you have a fucking God's Not Dead tier list you want to share with us?
Of course, God's not dead. He's. And it hasn't been a sequel with Tommy. We're never gonna get one. It's fine. God's Not Dead 3 is really good.
Somehow, I don't trust that statement.
That's like saying Bible Man's really objective about the Bible. Hey, guess what? Toy news. Hey, you want to see something that's really expensive that neither of us will ever be able to buy?
Mm-hmm. Hot Toys 1/4 scale Mark 6. I believe this is the suit Tony wears during the final battle of Avengers. And for those of you who are not aware,
No, Iron Man 2.
This is Iron Man 2?
Yeah, it says so on the logo.
Oh, okay. But yeah, for those of you who are not aware, Hot Toys normally makes 1/12 scale figures, which is about, or 1/6 scale, excuse me, which is about 12 inches tall. 1/4 scale is 19 inches tall, which, according to my handy dandy tape measure here, is yay tall. It's literally a quarter of me. It is the distance from my desk to my webcam. It's ridiculously big. I wouldn't even know how to display this. This is the definitive stupid rich person Marvel fan toy.
Yeah. Will Vac and Boingo talk about dildos? Will we talk about dildos?
We've done it on occasion for reasons.
God, I wish that was 1/12. Yeah. But then it'd also probably be a little bit more expensive because of the miniaturization.
Yeah, it is beautiful. It does have a lot of features. It looks just fantastic and perfect, but like it is so far out of all of our price ranges, it's not even funny.
It's ridiculous. All right. Hey. So is that Mark 81? No, this is Mark 6. This is how you read Roman numerals. A V is 5 and a 1 is 1, and you add that together, you get 6.
How about that?
Oh, we covered that what Bezos is up to. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. We did.
Marvel DLX Iron Man, another Mark 6 from 30.
Yeah, this is 1/12 scale, Zaya. So if you wanna pick up an ultra expensive import Iron Man that will stand toe to toe with your Marvel Legends, here you go. I've heard mixed things about the DLX line. They seem to be a bit of an acquired taste, but I mean they do look fairly snazzy for stuffing this size and price bracket.
We think they're gonna bring Tony back to life? Not in the way,
No.
not in a resurrection, but in a world reboot.
Mhm.
Is your shit, baby? Let's go.
Yeah, and I mean, like this looks about as fully featured as that Hot Toys minus like the LEDs.
Also minus like faces. I don't think there's faces in this one.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Free Zero attempt like a human face sculpt.
Doesn't 30 do those little tiny post-apocalyptic G.I. Joe things with the tanks?
You're you're thinking of a different company, but I know what you're talking about.
Don't care for light gimmicks. You can just edit those. Yeah, fair. You're thinking about it as like a very photographic video maker. No, it's Iron Man. Iron Man.
Good, solid, fully articulated, accessoried out piece.
I am Iron Man.
He do be strutting down that catwalk.
Mayfex.
And now for my favorite time of the month, the monthly Mayfex solicitations, where they always put out 2 pre-orders at the end of the month, and you never know what it's going to be for. But this month we got a DC pre-order and a Star Wars pre-order, and the DC pre-order is finally they're doing Hush Riddler in their Hush line, and I think he looks really, really good. I've seen some people saying he doesn't look quite as close to the Jim Lee art as the others have, but I think he looks about as good as you could want a modern Riddler figure to look. And like, this is my preferred look for Riddler. It's the green suit. You got a question mark bowler hat and a question mark bow tie, and that's it. It's not a big bodysuit. You don't have to cover him in question marks. This is enough for Riddler.
See, here's the thing. I think if you do like a movie suit and you do this, I think what would be really nice touch is you make it pinstripes, but the pinstripes are little tiny question marks. So like it has question marks all over, but it's not like something super big and noticeable, you know?
In a movie context, yes, I could get into that. In a comic or a cartoon, this is what I want.
No, you have to have him be trapped in prison. Oh yeah, dude,
uh,
these hands, man. Look at these hands.
yeah, he do be scheming.
He needs to wear a tank top.
Oh my god.
The hair around his nipples form a question mark.
Oh Jesus fuck. But yeah, no, this figure looks great. All the Mayfex Hush figures have looked really, really good, and this looks to be a great addition to everyone's collections, except for me, because I still haven't gotten around to buying any of them.
Like the movie Phantom Skull being a slight imprint. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we got the figures for the McFarley. Look at these.
Yeah, we talked about some of these getting revealed last week, but now we've got the full solicitation pre-order images so we can see everything they come up with. Red Tornado is going to have a big old tornado base, which I think is a cool, characterful choice.
Yeah, oh, he looks great. Red Tornado is always a fun looking character.
Yeah, it's a goofy ass design, but it still somehow works.
It's like a slightly goofier version of the Vision, and I love that for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Red Tornado. Look at that.
Yeah.
Animal
And then
Man.
Animal Man comes with a little Wolverine friend. He got a little critter with him.
Also a regular hand.
Yeah. The only thing I like have a problem with this release so far is the art on the package and the card he comes with both have him wearing the jacket, but the figure doesn't have a jacket.
Yeah,
Seems like a massive oversight there, Todd.
the Phantom movie had the skull serve some highlighting and Riddler question marks saying, "Well, my bad, forgot to speak the full sentence in streamline." It's fine.
Yeah, you good, you good. But yeah, no, this Animal Man is looking really, really good. And I mean, like, who had like 1/12 scale Wolverine on their action figure bingo card?
You
for
need
this
to
year?
get that Wolverine for Gabby.
Yes. Wait, we don't have a Marvel Legends Gabby yet.
Laura, then.
Yeah. Oh, but hey, fucking, where is my Marvel Legends Honey Badger? Ryan, Dan, Dwight, come on. I just realized how much of a glaring hole that is now.
Third party soft goods. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure there will be like 10 different people selling them on eBay and Etsy by the time this figure actually comes out.
There's also a part of me that would really want a Coyote figure to go with him.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can find them in Ollie's right now from the Space Jam movie.
Yeah. I love that one issue. I love it so much. We have
Jokerized Batgirl, everybody.
Like, that's not a complete betrayal of the character.
I mean, I get it. It's a fun side thing to fill a hole, make sure there's still exclusives for certain stores without taking up slots that are really going to irritate people, but it is a wild ass choice.
Yeah, but hey, look at that. Red Tornado.
Yeah, and we got one more to go over.
DC Multiverse Wonder Woman. Classic style Wonder Woman.
We finally have the full layout of everything this figure is going to come with and how it's going to look, and I think it's shaping up pretty good.
Is it two different colorways?
It might be,
because
I didn't notice that until now. But yeah, like that's a more modern colorway, and then the other one looks very like classic superpowers.
What an ugly Batgirl suit! Agree.
But yeah, no, this.
Oh yeah, no, like more direct. Like this is very much like 70s show. That's much more like contemporary Justice League.
Yeah, and the contemporary look is the one I would go for, but I think it's cool that they're doing them both. And honestly, I think this figure looks really, really good. The face might be a tad off, as all the females in this line have been recently for some reason. But I don't hate it. And like the only thing I'm like legitimately, if I was making this figure, I would change, even if I had to kick it up a price point. Kind of wish the lasso was like a wire you could pose, but like I understand why that's not feasible at like Western retail these days.
Yeah, so we got this very classic colors and this very contemporary colors. Do they have all
Yeah,
the
so
same
it's got to
stickers?
be like a variant
Yeah, it's
situation.
a variant. This is, I think it's McFarlane website variant because you see the McFarlane logo right there above the hands.
Ah, I should really like read the descriptions on toy news stories before we talk about them here. But yeah, no, I love. She's coming with a sword, an axe, a shield, the lasso, and a bunch of different hands. So like for everybody who has been clamoring for a classic evergreen Wonder Woman in this line, finally you have one that can basically fit in any era.
Yeah, that's really cool. And that is all the news we have for everybody. I hope you enjoyed the news. Because it's
It sure
time.
was newsy.
That wasn't a musical.
I like to think our whole life is a musical in a way.
We're not a musical about the street paper sellers unionizing.
Aren't we though?
Uh, hey, you want to talk about pictures on a page?
Always, always with the comics. Please, let's get to the comic discussion.
Tell the people about Red Sonja #5.
Hey, finally circling back around to this book after forgetting about it last week. This issue actually picks up after a bit of a time skip because basically, as she had been getting pressured into during the whole last issue, Red Sonja has to abandon the city that's been under siege in this story so far in order to go deliver a MacGuffin somewhere, and we catch up to her a few weeks later in a sort of snowy mountain range, and she's got like this cool fur cloak that she's wearing as opposed to her usual attire, and basically it's she runs across a slave convoy, she frees them, and then the MacGuffin she's carrying actually possesses one of the slaves, and she's like, "Why the fuck are you doing that? That guy's been through enough. Leave him alone." And it's like I'm the only only me telling you precise instructions is how you're going to be able to deliver me to where I need to go. So we need this guy right now. And she's like, that is fucking bullshit, but okay. And then we cut back to the ruins of the city she had to abandon, and basically we find out that the villain realizes, oh, she's not here. We can't find her body anywhere. So her and the MacGuffin must be somewhere else. We gotta keep looking, and that's kind of how the story leaves off, and it's fairly well written. I liked it.
Nice. You've really been getting into barbarian comics.
Yeah, it's weird. I never would have. I never thought I would be like a sword and sorcery type guy, but it's that aesthetic has just been calling to me all year long.
Aki, YouTubers are the modern day versions of street paper sellers. You are correct. News over here. Come and get your news. Come and get your other comic we're talking about. Over here, we're talking about, let me double check. World's finest Batman and Superman. Clash of Generations.
I like that you had to check.
Look, my mouse does things.
It sure do. But yeah, continuing on with this arc, a little bit kind of just more of the same, but it's still good. And we get a bit of a big end of issue reveal that Gog is up to some shit.
Yeah. Is this do you think this is post Kingdom Come or pre Kingdom Come now? Now we have a little bit more
I
information.
I feel like it's got to be somewhere in between. Oh, it's hard to say because like with the fact that he has control over everybody, it's like I could see this being an event that takes place between eras in the book, but I could also see like definitively this is a sequel, like this is the Revenge of Gog or something like that.
Yeah. Who knows? Kingdom Come or Kingdom Pre-Come?
Oh man, let me tell you about the Kingdom pre-cum. That's a sticky situation right there.
Mark Waid's Kingdom Precom.
He's like selling it like fucking Ivan Ooze.
Hello, I'm Mark Waid. Here's my Kingdom Precom.
Kingdom post-cum clarity. That's gonna be what the actual sequel to the book is called.
But overall, here's the big thing. It doesn't feel like a betrayal of Kingdom Come because it's the same guy writing it.
Yeah, everything feels very much in keeping with the tone, and like you're even getting new layers to the universe that feel fun. Like we get to actually see what Kingdom Come Nightwing is like, and I think he was just like barely there in some of the backgrounds of panels in the
Yeah.
original book.
But next issue. We both read Immortal X-Men.
AKA, hey, I hope you were reading that Jean Grey mini.
I was. Do you want me to explain what happened?
No, because I kind of got it, but it was still a little like, oh, I see. I see how you are, Marvel. I know you. I understand you, you fuckers.
The only thing you need to know is that basically they're in the White Hot Room, which is a place in between dimension that can just make shit.
Yeah, that's where all the mutants that survived the Hellfire Gala got trapped.
Yeah. Uh,
Um, but also, a lot of this issue is actually just Charles and Mr. Sinister having a big old conversation about how they're both kind of bastards and they need to find a way to trust each other again so that they can fix things.
I
And
love
it's
how it's
it's
not
real
even like
interesting.
I love how it's not even like we're both bastards. It's like, hey, you compromise your morals because you were trying to achieve a better dream. I am just an asshole. Come on.
And I get and it's not even like Charles turns it around and he's like, "Yeah, I did that, but you're an asshole." Like Sinister the whole time is going, "Yes, I know I'm an asshole, and I am putting all of my dirty laundry out on the table here because there are bigger issues than me right now."
Yeah, and it's great. It's beautiful conversation.
Mhm.
Okay, this is going to be the most fan wank jerk off casting possible. This issue made me go like, damn, what would Bryan Cranston as Professor Xavier be like?
I mean, he does look kind of Heisenbergy in this issue.
I'm just going like, yo, he could pull it off.
hmm
But that is
I
like
think
super.
he's a little too old for
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
MCU now, but that would be awesome.
But like again, that's super fan casty wankery of like, oh, Bryan Cranston.
He's bald. Make him play the bald character. He was bald in that one thing. Make him play the bald character.
You know, uh, overall, this was good. A lot of things are being set up and paid off and whatnot.
Mhm. Oh man, I just remembered. Remember after Man of Steel came out when there were like rumors that Lex Luthor was going to be in the sequel, and everybody was going, "It has to be Bryan Cranston, dude. It just has to be," because Breaking Bad was still on the air at the time.
Jesus. I read Captain Marvel.
Have you been reading this?
It's only the second issue.
Okay, I completely forgot you talking about the first issue then.
Um, I think it was during the like a 2 week break, and it was like this was the one that
Oh.
got cut.
Oh, okay, okay. Tell me all about it.
Basically, Carol gets wrapped up with a random woman, with negabands, so they transfer her into the negative zone whenever they get clung, and they're trying to figure out the situation and solve it.
Make it like the movie, guys. We got to have something that's comfortable for the throng of moviegoers that are going to come to the comic
I
shop.
feel like this is less what if movie, but more hey, remember classic Captain Marvel? Cranston stuff is perfect example of why I'm happy they aren't stunt casting Jimmy. Yeah.
Who would have been a stunt casting for Jimmy, though?
Who's the voice for Sonic the Hedgehog?
I have no fucking idea, dude. How
But
would
that
I know
guy.
that? I was more so thinking like Sami Zayn.
Adam Sandberg. Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler as Jimmy Olsen.
No, know who? Adam Sandler as Bibbo Babowski.
That would actually work though.
Yeah, it would.
If he gave a shit, that would work.
Because I can just totally see him doing the Adam Sandler.
Although going along that line, you know who I actually think would be a cool stunt casting for Bibbo in Superman Legacy? Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, that would be fun.
Because he like half of a part of his brand has always been that he's a big Superman fan.
Yeah. Though also the other big part of that is him repeatedly going, Superman is Jewish, and while I agree, I'm not disagreeing. There's probably a part of Hollywood that may want to like step away from that, you know. They would do Ryan Reynolds for Jimmy. Bill Hader would be good.
Bill Hader would be okay.
Oh, dude. Okay. Guzman. I can't remember his first name. The actor Guzman. He has a very distinct face.
I think I know who you're talking about.
As Bibbo. That he'd be good.
Yeah.
But this is a good
Captain
book.
Marvel.
This is a good book. It's literally them just going like, hey, we got these negabands. We need to solve the problem. Luis Guzman. Yes, Luis Guzman. He would be a good Bibbo.
Yeah.
Book is good. I'm gonna keep reading it.
It's a good book.
You read Conan the Barbarian.
Hey, start of a new arc for this book, actually. And we're jumping to a whole different era of Conan. It's post the time in his history when he was co-captain of a pirate vessel with a big badass pirate wife. And this is like picking up sometime after her death, and he's all sad and drinking in bars and taking like thieving jobs with a thieves guild just to get by. And his partner basically goes like, hey, we've got a huge score, we got to go raid this temple that's actually to a god of thieves, and if we do it, we're gonna have enough money to set us up for life. And he's like, I don't fucking care about that, I'm depressed and drinking. And they're like, okay, but do you understand how much booze this money can buy you? And he's like, all right, fair enough. And so we're getting Conan in a heist movie, essentially, for the next couple issues.
That's fun. Danny DeVito's Mr. Mixapedalic. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that could work.
You enjoying it, though?
I do like the Conan.
Nice.
Gotta watch that Arnold movie now. Gotta read some of the classic Marvel books.
You getting into Barbarians? Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Just watch, everybody. This time next year, these entire bookcases are going to be filled to the brim with mythic legions. It's happening.
Who would have thought? Vac loves big beefy men and big beefy women.
It's an ideal body type.
We both read Superman #8.
This arc has been really interesting because it feels like this is the sort of thing that Williamson has been wanting to get to since the start of it, of really confronting a lot of the issues of Superman and Lex's Silver Age past, and can Lex really change? Can they be friends again? And it's interesting to see how he's handling that.
Yeah. Also, Jason Aaron's Conan is great, so there's a suggestion for you, Vac. The original Conan books are solid and written with a very modern vernacular. Hell yeah.
Interesting.
That's not common for books written at that time, because he was a contemporary of H.P. Lovecraft. But yeah, no, this Superman book, fucking great. I love the bad guy. He's so fucking.
He feels very realistic for a character that's like retconned in and kind of pulled out of the writer's ass.
Though they do connect it with like he has tactile telepathy, tactile telekinesis. I mean,
and like it feels like it's a natural part of the universe.
Yeah. But overall, it's good. I like how Superman's like really proud that he's able to save Lex. People forget Howard and Lovecraft were big in pulp, which was basically created alongside comics as a medium. Yeah, no, pulp, comics and pulp are brothers, and that's why I usually say, comics are a pulp genre.
Yeah. And hey, I got a carrot crumb out of this, so it's a good book. I like it.
Yeah, it's good. It's solid. A lot of interesting things, and it's fun to see Lex Luthor be seemingly genuinely like what's the word, regretful.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I do really like the way they played a little bit where he saves Lena.
yeah, I love that word, tactile telekinesis. Yeah, it's a good power.
Mhm. I think that might be like one of the main reasons Superboy has stuck around is just that that's like such a good word combination.
Yeah. Next book. I read Avengers Incorporated #3.
How's that book going?
It's good. Someone died in Valhalla, so they
Oh,
have to go search for it.
well, that's interesting.
Scourge died in Valhalla.
Well, that's interesting.
Scourge was murdered because it's a whole mystery and they're trying to figure it out. Wasp figures it out by the end of the book. Odin can't just let people go out of Valhalla. But he knew if he needed someone to do a thing, he needed to have some kind of backdoor. And well, he needed Scourge to do a thing, and Scourge was willing to do it. So he killed Scourge to get him out of Valhalla so he can go do the thing he needs to do. But he couldn't tell anybody because then all of them would want to get out because they would all want to go and have adventures again.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. Also, apparently, it's only getting like 5 issues.
Dang.
Yeah. At least that's a rumor I heard. So we'll see when it gets to it.
Mm-hmm.
I also read The Incredible Hulk. Did you not read it?
I did mean to read this, but I didn't end up having time.
Well, it's the beginning of a new arc. Hulk, Banner, and the girl are just walking around. They come to they get picked up. They head over to like a small immigrant Mexican community right near the border. They basically go like, yeah, no, we set up camp here during harvest, and we go do our job, and then we head back. And the Hulk is going like, all right, Banner, fuck you. I'm this version of the Hulk, so I'm out. I'm just gonna fucking hurt anything you care about, so fuck you. And they're like one of the kids that they ran into earlier in the book was just playing with a motorcycle from like World War II, and a ghostwriter from World War II just shows up and goes like, I'm here to protect the kid, fuck you.
What? Okay.
Yeah, and that's the book. That's it.
Interesting.
That's good.
I should also mention, while we're pseudo on the topic, I also didn't read Nightwing and Titans this week just because, like, Titans has been kind of mid, kind of like the least interesting book Tom Taylor's ever done, in my opinion.
Damn.
So I just kind of decided I was done with it. And I really don't care for the current arc of Nightwing. So I'm just going to wait until the new one starts and then I'll jump back on it.
All right. We both read Green Lantern.
War Journal, with probably the most misleading cover of the week.
Yeah.
There are no bears in this issue.
And we know how you like bears.
I love them bears.
What's your favorite sports ball team?
The Bears.
What's your favorite animal?
The Bears.
What's your favorite gay man sub-archetype?
The Bears.
What's your favorite diamond company?
The Bears. I mean, if we're being realistic here, I kind of do qualify as a bear, so.
Maybe a cub.
Hmm.
We have to actually get a real gay man here to qualify.
Yeah, send us an email at the web zone if you want to participate.
Send us the qualifications of you being a real ass gay man.
We need to see your gay card. That joke could be really horrible if taken out of context. Anyway, um, yeah, this issue is really good. Got some really solid emotional beats to it, and it's kind of a stopgap in the story, but it makes sense to do all the legwork it's doing here. And it also introduced us to a brand new upcoming Todd McFarlane figure.
Yeah. But it's very much a, hey, John, this is what's happening for you to know what you have to do issue.
Hmm.
You know? Which is fine.
Yeah, you gotta have those.
Let's give John Stewart context.
Yeah, let's give him a big emotional potential goodbye to his mom.
Yeah. But also recognize like why he quit the Green Lantern Corps and why that's not like the right kind of thing to do, but why it is, and it's all that kind of like nuance and everything. And I also love the thing he said to his mom while she's like knocked out, going like,
Yeah.
you were so much better than I could ever imagine. You should have been Green Lantern."
Yeah. Honestly, the only thing I would really change about this issue is I really was waiting for there to be a moment where John just looks at that younger Lantern from the alternate universe and is like, so are you like Guy Gardner's son, or did you just get the assholishness from somebody else?
I do like seeing the alternate universe Kyle Rayner though.
Yeah, that's where I was like, oh, that's a Todd figure.
Yeah, no, he's got to fight zombies while slowly becoming a zombie.
Whoa.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's a good book. I like it.
It's good, John Stewart. We both read The Invincible Iron Man.
I'm really glad we're getting to the end of this period of the X-Men because it feels like every other fucking issue that Tony and Emma have a scare on this level.
This whole issue is, oh god, fuck.
Yeah, like I didn't even know Riri fucking had the Mandarin rings right now.
Oh
So
yeah, that happened in the last Iron Man run.
Yeah, so that was like, oh, what? Okay, we're doing this now. All right, here we go.
I love how Kingpin immediately saw the situation. Was like, oh shit, fuck. Held his cane. Was like, all right, bonk, whacked his face to give an alibi.
It's like, Wilson has done that and blamed it on Daredevil at least 2 or 3 times in his previous life.
But it's so good. It works so well.
Mm-hmm. The like little bookend of giving us updates on how Rhodey's doing is fun.
I love how, like, because here's the thing, that is a setup. That is a miniaturized War Machine suit.
Yep, they're doing a thing. We're gonna have a big awesome jailbreak scene at some point. But also, like, there's also just like the really cute Thanksgiving scene that's just peeked in right there for a page or two, which is nice. I think this is the only comic that acknowledged that this week was Thanksgiving.
But it also, like, it makes sense because it's like it is it's an attempt at a morale boost in a very dire situation.
Mm-hmm. And it also reminds everybody of that classic episode of the '90s cartoon that's set at Thanksgiving.
But a lot of good stuff in this book. And I love it how the women in Tony's life are all so headstrong, they immediately start fighting each other.
Yeah. Your boy has a type.
Well, I mean, Riri's not his type. Riri's his, like, on again, off again apprentice.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, he surrounds himself with that kind of female counterpart.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be romantic.
Right. He has a preferred personality to be around.
Mm-hmm. Also, I do love how Emma words the explanation to Riri. She's like, Tony is allowed to be married to one of my aliases.
Come on, Emma. You know you're appreciating him. But yeah, no, good issue.
Yeah.
Duggan knows how to write some Iron Man.
How about that?
Wolverine number 39. AKA, we are currently in the Wolverine Marvel team up arc of the book.
Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised by this because, like, I didn't really enjoy the first issue of that Black Panther book. You told me you were dropping off it. And this is a really solid crossover that, like, really does a great job of comparing and contrasting T'Challa and Logan.
Yeah, and like this is a perfect summation of what the Black Panther is trying to be right now, of like corruption has happened in Wakanda. T'Challa's the only one who can fight it, but he's not welcome there.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it works better here. It's fun to see them team up.
Yeah. And I mean that opening too is such an awesome scene that kind of like harkens back to the opening scenes of Wakanda Forever,
Mm-hmm.
where it's just like big outside delegation comes in and is like, hey, we can help you. We want to do this thing. Come on, do this thing with us, Wakanda. And Wakanda is just like, we just invited you here to tell you to fuck off, which is great. It's how
Yeah,
Wakanda should always be portrayed.
I love how everybody was giving Wolverine side eye as being the only white man there.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing here, white man? Overall, good book, good Wolverine book.
Mm-hmm. I would love to see Logan try and whip out a fake passport to get into Wakanda.
I'm an albino.
That's a terrible joke.
Next book.
Yeah.
I read The Uncanny Spider-Man.
I'm pretty sure that's also the Amazing Spider-Man there.
He has a part in the book, but it's mostly about Nightcrawler.
All right, so the big question I have to ask every issue: have they confirmed it yet?
Maybe almost.
Oh my god!
Because I'll explain. Give me a second. So first things first. Opening of the book, brilliant, perfect, beautiful. There is a mob fucking carrying a pizza guy going like, fuck mutants. And Spider-Man comes on and goes like, whoa, what's going on here? And they go like, this guy's a mutant. He was putting flowers at the tree house. And he goes like, they were my best tippers. And Spider-Man's like, guys, come on, no. The only thing supernatural about him is the quality of their pizzas. And so it's like, oh yeah, that's Spider-Man. And
that's Peter Parker right there.
And then a fucking sentinel comes in and goes like, yes, good citizens, you can get money if you turn in that mutant. However, that is not a mutant. And then it looks at Spider-Man and goes, mutant discovered. And Peter's just like immediately, whoa, hold on, time out. I'm not a mutant. I was bitten by a spider. Not to say I wouldn't be a proud mutant, but I'm not a mutant. And it starts
we have had this debate many times, sir.
And then it starts attacking Spider-Man, and Nightcrawler's right there, so he helps out. And and that whole thing happens, and basically his inner consciousness is going like, hey, Nightcrawler, you should actually deal with your problems instead of running away playing Spider-Man. And Nightcrawler's going like, no, fuck you, I deserve a moment of peace and quiet. And he's like, no, you don't get that, you're Nightcrawler, fuck you. Because not Wolverine, Mystique fucking uses the bazooka to blow up the Sentinel. Nightcrawler chases after her and literally goes, Raven, we need to have a conversation. And an entire page that says, and they do. Read it in X-Men Origins Blue.
Oh, fuck off! That is some next level dickery right there.
Exactly.
In terms of comic book writing.
Exactly.
I might read that though. I might actually read that because I want to know.
And then Silver Sable is blackmailed by her team to betray Nightcrawler. So she betrays Nightcrawler and they kidnap him.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, and she's sad about it, and she's like, no, because this guy's actually nice and sweet, and I fucking hate this. And like Nightcrawler the whole time's been going like, hey, I have ideas for you to be able to change your economy so you don't have to be a mercenary anymore. And she's like, that is so sweet. Fuck. And she's heartbroken. It's bad. It's sad.
So is Origins Blue out next week, or is that like we got okay.
Next week.
Fuck, if there's not too much else, I might. I'm really deathly curious about this shit.
Yeah. I also read Sensational She-Hulk.
Hey, was it entirely sensational? Were you sensationed?
Oh, it's very sensational. It's literally the Hulk showing up going like, fucking stay out of my life. And Jen going, I wasn't even in your life.
Hmm.
And he's going like, no, but there's the sheep. I smelled you following me. It's like, I haven't. I've been here. And then remember the person who stole Jin's blood and the previous arc and the previous run of She-Hulk?
Yes.
She shows up and they start fighting.
Oh.
And that's who the Hulk's been smelling.
Hmm.
Yeah, and this is a big old fight. Also, there's a fun backup with Wyatt Wingfoot.
Who?
The Native American Indian friend of Johnny from the Fantastic Four.
Oh, yes. Okay. I haven't thought
Is
about him in a long time.
he is the leader of an unrecognized native nation by the U.S. government, but I think they're fictional in the universe. But it's kind of like, hey, these are the plights of these people, kind of character.
Right on.
Yeah. But it's a fun thing because like some aliens show up and go like, we have demands, and he's the only one who's able to actually talk to him, and he goes like, I will only talk to this man, basically kind of forcing the US Congress to recognize his nation. Which is kind of a fun, like, haha.
Yeah, that's clever.
That's
trademark Russell T Davies clever writing right there.
You read Jay Garrick, The Flash, Rumble with Robert.
This issue does have a bear. There's a big old cyborg bear bad guy, and it's kind of fun. Yeah. Oh boy, look out, famous Spawn character Cygor. You got competition from DC now.
And it's a bear.
Essentially, we open on a flashback that Jay fought this villain with the Justice Society during World War II, and it was a whole thing. And now, as part of like Judy coming back and his memories coming back and other random shit that they had forgotten coming back / being retconned, this guy shows back up in the present while Judy is at the mall for the first time with Stargirl, because this writer is totally hip to the youth and knows what they're into. And there's a big old fight where father and daughter get to team up and beat the crap out of a cyborg bear with super speed and baseball bats. It's fun. I liked it.
Nice. Would you suggest this book to others?
I would. I think this is probably the more like lighthearted fun of the two Flash books going on right now. So if that's your flavor of Flash, you should be reading this.
Nice. We both read Wonder Woman.
This is kind of more of the same from issue 2, with a big reveal at the end, but it's still really good. I'm still really liking Tom King's take on Wonder Woman.
It's good. It's solid. It's fun to see her just be very confident and very capable. I love how cute they made this Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
She has a lot of cute moments.
There's a couple of good like little comedy beat pages, and there's also one panel that is clearly like Daniel Sempier make a poster that is going to be on thousands of teenage boys' bedrooms.
I love the moment where she's in the elevator and she goes like, "Can you press button 2? You are arrested under knocked out. Lean over, press 2." Like that's cute.
That's really good. The panel where she's just standing in the elevator as people as like the tiara is flying around taking out soldiers.
But it's just say, hey, I am confronting you about this reason things are going wrong kind of issue.
Mm-hmm. I know you have information I need. Come on, Sergeant Steele, play ball here. I'll fucking blow you up with the invisible jet if you don't play ball. And he's like, all right, the lady we're both after, she was pregnant. That might be a big problem. And also, like, they kind of hint that it might be that Lizzie was actually this lady's daughter.
Maybe.
But we'll see as the book goes on. Also, there's a really cute backup of John and Damian babysitting Lizzie as a little girl.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Trinity.
Trinity, yeah.
Which is her hero name. I love King's Wonder Woman is very good because it's strong, it's confident, she is capable, but she is still fun and lighthearted and cute and adorable as a person, which is
Mhm.
kind of like what yeah
It's kind of doing the same thing as Woman of Tomorrow now that I think about it, because the narration is also from an outside perspective that is like trying to big up Wonder Woman as an impressive character to you.
Also, can we just acknowledge that Tom King correctly identified the problems of toxic masculinity in regards to patriotism and propaganda and how that's
Yep.
all related? And like, I have not heard anyone say anything about that. And it's just like, oh, Tom King, former CIA agent, by the way,
Hmm.
directly said, "Oh yeah, the American government directly fucking uses toxic masculinity and the insecurities of men in order to get their shit done."
Yeah, that whole like subplot with the
The soldier,
what not the soldier,
sovereign.
what's the sovereign? Yeah, that was fucked up, but like very accurate.
But like, it's interesting to see. It's like, damn, you're actually tackling a wide range of feminist topics, not just Wonder Woman. You know?
Hmm. Also, I realized this week if you read the Sovereign's narration in like a goofy streamer voice in your head, it is fucking hilarious.
Everybody, go read Tom King's Wonder Woman. It is very good so far.
Yeah.
At least she says more than just one word at a time.
Hmm. She has yet to look at Steve Trevor and go, "Soldier,
Princess.
soldier, princess, soldier, princess." That's it. 1 million copies sold. We did it, everybody. See, I like his Batman run, and I can make the joke too.
What's next? We both read Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong.
More wrinkles being added in
Yeah.
here. We're finding out like it's not just Godzilla and Kong. The entirety of the MonsterVerse seems to be somehow magically transported into the DC
With a
universe.
bunch of brand new original monsters.
Yeah, and like some of them seem to be like at least somewhat based on existing Toho kaiju. Like I think that one, the Bat Family fights, which by the way, that's a really good, solid Bat Family sequence.
Yeah. I love
Um,
how they just was like, shut up, Jason.
Batman jokes illegal back. Oh, not in my town. But yeah, no, that was really good. It made me happy as somebody who generally doesn't like Jason. But also I'm pretty sure that kaiju was like low key based on Batra.
I
It
could
gave
see
me
it being
Batra
Batra.
vibes. Um, and also just like fucking Green Arrow is gonna have to survive on his own for at least a little while on Monster Island.
That's such
I
a
hope
good that's such a good idea.
I hope we at least get half an issue dedicated to that next issue. That could be really cool.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of good stuff, a lot of fun things. Superman and Shazam teaming up to fight Godzilla, and Superman just getting decimated by the
Hmm.
atomic breath. A lot of good shit. A lot of good shit. Read it.
Yep.
I read Titans because I thought we
Oh,
were
you
both.
did read Titans. Okay. I forgot.
Yeah, I've been reading Titans. Uh,
What happens?
so Wally's wife tried to kill him.
That makes sense. That works with the mystery they were building up. Yeah.
But Dick was able to solve the issue. They're able to go like, oh shit, she was being brain controlled, and she goes like, yeah, Gar gave it to me. He's being brain controlled too. Oh shit. Okay, so that's the big problem we're gonna have to deal with, and probably the big crossover they're doing, Beast World.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, they're just dealing with all that, and the rest of the team is in the place that got burned down, and they're trying to rebuild it. They team up with Swamp Thing.
Nito Skeeto.
Yeah, it's good. You read Ranger Academy.
It's okay.
It's Oklahoma.
It is yeah, the whole book takes place in Oklahoma. No, it's very standard like sci-fi cartoon fantasy school story. There's a little bit of allusion to greater Power Rangers lore. We meet a very Zordon-esque character. We meet a very Billy-esque character that has ties to the main character's dad, who had a mysterious past they hinted at in issue 1. And like there's a solid friend group that's being established here with the main character and some others that are in her class that definitely do give off like slight Harry Potter supporting cast vibes. But yeah, it's nothing really special or impressive if I gotta be honest with you. Like it is exactly what I expected it to be, in that it is a Power Rangers thing in name only, basically. And yeah, I'm glad I circled back around because this came out last week to reconfirm my feelings, because it had been so long since we'd gotten new content for this book. But yeah, this ain't for me, fam. I'm not gonna keep up with this.
Fair enough. We both read Void Rivals.
Hey, this is a pretty good. We got to get the hell out of Dodge issue.
Yeah, this is just turning into like a really fun sci-fi story with Transformers sprinkled on the outside.
Hmm. Though they make allusions to a couple different things that I did like do a quick Google foo on. I'm like, that sounds like that's deep Transformers deep lore. I don't quite remember, and like all of it is new stuff. But I get the feeling like this book is going to end up being like the backbone of like the overarching lore for the Energon universe.
See that? Also, just I'm enjoying the characters. I'm enjoying the world they're setting up. It's fun.
Yeah, I like the dynamic between these two, especially at this point where she's like, "You sent for me?" Yeah, of course. You'd have done the same for me. No, I wouldn't. Okay, well, I would. Anyway, I
And
guess we're
maybe you
stuck
would
with
do,
each other now.
and maybe you would do now that I did for you. Probably
No, I
not.
wouldn't.
Can you just work with me here? I love
This
it.
man, this man is desperately trying to get on this woman's good side, and she is not having
She
it.
doesn't have a good side.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but like, it's come a long way since the first issue where we're just kind of going like, it kind of feels weird. It kind of just feels like it's just there to do like Transformer
Yeah, the
cameo.
first issue we were like, what is the point of this continuing beyond this point? And now it's like, okay, this has got its own vibe to it. This is nice. This is fun.
Yeah. Speaking of sci-fi fun things, I read Batman Offworld.
I did want to read this, but it's another one of those books where I was just like, I just don't have time this week.
Okay, so you know how we saw this cover and the idea, and it was like, oh, this is like Batman's first encounter with like extraterrestrial stuff. It's
Uh-huh.
kind of like that. You want to know what the real
I'm
story
hearing a
is?
butt coming.
So the real story of this is Batman's fighting crime like normal. It's like the beginning of year 2.
Hmm.
And an Irish and like one of the gangs, like the Irish gang in Gotham, hired an alien as like muscle.
Okay.
Cause like it's the world is starting to get more and more crazy. It's like, okay, that kind of makes sense. So Batman tries to fight it and he can't land a punch. Like he lands a punch, but it's doing nothing. And the guy's just going like, ha, 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 you wouldn't be nothing in my galaxy. And Batman goes like, all right, this is the shit I'm gonna have to be dealing with soon. I'm going to that galaxy so I can learn. And he goes and he gets kidnapped by pirates, and now he's training against all the aliens on the pirate ship while he is basically being a cabin boy.
So it's sci-fi Batman the Knight.
Yes.
All right, that's cute. That's cute, Jason Aaron. Good job. You get a cookie.
And like the person he's like the side character that he's teaming up with is a Tamaranian. Like no, not related to Starfire or any of those characters, just a random Tamaranian. It's like, that's fun. Why don't you use your other alien species more?
Does she? Oh, I'm assuming she or he or they.
She.
Okay. Does she have a goofy pun name like Coriander?
I don't remember if she said her name.
Okay.
It's more of just like, hey, hey, like they don't call him a bat because they don't have a context for what a bat is, so they call him a flightless bird.
Hmm.
And like, there's a moment where he goes like, "They don't know to fear the bat. They will soon."
That would be funny though, if like there's now we can retcon in a scene where like Dick is introducing Corey to Bruce is like, hey, this is my new girlfriend. And then he's like, oh, I used to have one of those.
Girlfriend? No, orange lady.
and and then Dick like slowly looks at Starfire and he's like, is that racist?
So they just assume he's Owlman. Kind of, more or less, they just kind of see him as like, oh, you weak little tiny man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you weak little tiny man. Oh, that's adorable.
They find Batman floating in space and they're like, look, it's just a little guy. He's just a little guy, everybody. We gotta take him on board. He's just a little guy.
No, they find a ship. He's in a ship and like he hides in the ship and they come in. I know. I'm bouncing off to kind of explain the book.
Yeah, we're goofy boys here.
And he basically like does the whole I hide in the shadows and attacks the people who come to the ship to look for things. And then the captain walks down and goes like, "Oh, is this our new recruit? This our new guy?" And they go like, "Yeah, he's a Spitfire." And he goes like, "All right, cool, hit me." And Batman goes like, "All right, this is what I'm here for." He does like the electric knuckle dusters right at the jaw. The guy doesn't flinch, and he's like, all right, my turn. 1, 2, Batman doesn't remember the third punch.
Oh.
And, like, that's his goal. He's like, okay, I can't, with my current knowledge, tackle these kind of foes. I need to learn. So, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
A lot of
not
fun
a bad
alien.
For a Batman book.
No, it's pretty good. It's pretty solid. And last but not least, I decided I'm gonna go back and read some J.M. DeMatteis Spectacular Spider-Man.
Okay, watch out. We got a badass over here.
Fuck off. This is just a Venom, not a Venom, Vermin.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the Vulture.
No, this is Vermin, and this is post Soul of the Hunter.
Mm.
Do you know Soul of the Hunter?
It's the shitty sequel to Kraven's Last Hunt, right?
It's not shitty. It's basically Death coming in and going like, hey, by the way, did you know people who commit suicide in the Marvel Universe kind of are stuck in a purgatory, and a person kind of close to them can give them a chance to move on? And Spider-Man's like, fuck you, you buried me in a hole for 2 weeks. And then like through the course of it, he's like, yes, but you are also mentally ill and sick as a person, and I don't forgive you, but I want you to move on. Vermin sounds
like symbiote.
No, he's kind of like a rat man.
Yeah. Though, Aki, if you aren't acquainted, you should really Google Lady Vermin. What a fantastic character that is. I think you'll like her a lot.
But basically, the premise of this story is Vermin was in Ravencroft, and escaped. And basically, they go like, "Hey, Spider-Man, can you go get him?" And Spider-Man's going like, "This dude eats people. He should be in jail. Why are we treating him for mental illness?" And they're going like, "Because he's mentally ill." And Spider-Man's like, "Yeah, you're right. Fuck, I'm an asshole. Let me go try and find Vermin."
There's a lot of that in this era, wasn't there?
Yeah. Also, Normie's here.
Oh.
Normie. We have what's his name? Harry. We have Harry going through like a mental break. He just sees Norman Osborn telling him to be a bad parent, and he's like, "Fuck." Shifter Spider. Yeah. It's fun. It's very classic Spider-Man. It's good. Good classic art. But that is all the comics we read this week. Hey, Vec, what is your overall opinion of comics this week?
It was a good week for comics. There's a lot of comics, a lot of reading to do, but we got through it. We did it.
We sure did. So, you want to tell the people where they can find you?
Hey everybody, I'm the Vacuuminator. I make YouTube videos. They're things you can watch. Go watch them at the Vacuuminator here on YouTube. Also follow me on the social media. I have an Instagram where I post action figure photography. That's at the underscore Vacuuminator. I have a Blue Sky where I do Twitter things without the threat of Elon looming over me. That's at thevacuuminator.bsky.social. I have a Tumblr where I do Tumblr things. That's thevacuuminator.tumblr.com.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Just imagine real quick, what if Elon Musk made a Blue Sky? To just go like, yo, you should use Twitter. Twitter's so good, you should use Twitter.
I want everybody to like unanimously block him if that happens.
But hey, do you want to follow me? I'm in places. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at Boingo_writer. Mastodon at Boingo_writer at VT.social. I'm on Blue Sky as well, Boingo Writer. You can follow me on here on YouTube. I make a variety of videos. I do a weekly review of Common Writer. This is coming out, and variety of video essays and editorials. I also stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Boingo Writer. But this isn't the only thing we make here. Is using Twitter bots to snatch up Blue Sky invite codes. Really?
Yeah, I remember it was like a thing a couple weeks ago that like if you publicly post a Blue Sky invite code now on Twitter, your account will be suspended for like an amount of time.
But hey, this isn't the only thing we make over here. We also have other podcasts, such as Components, a weekly fuck around and find out podcast where we just hang out, shoot the shit. Sometimes we have guests, and sometimes we don't. We also have Analytical Fanboys, a monthly media cast where one member will pick a piece of media, make the others engage with it in however it needs to be engaged with, and then we have a conversation about it. This upcoming episode is about Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. That's a smile of a horny man, folks.
God damn you.
We also have Twit, This Week in Tokusatsu, a weekly tokusatsu podcast about all things special effects and Japanese. And finally, we have Saturday Morning Panels. You want to tell the people about Saturday Morning Panels?
Saturday Morning Panels is the monthly show where myself and Snowcone83 discuss the latest news from the worlds of Transformers and G.I. Joe, take a look at a classic Marvel comic from one of those properties, and talk about our most recent purchases.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. So if you want to see this podcast and many more into the future, please leave a like, please leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel to help support us. Anything else you would like to say, Vac?
Don't forget to join us over on my channel on Saturday for our official MCU tier list stream, and back here on Sunday when we take a look at the classic, The Amazing Spider-Man.
Now, do you also want to do a joke one?
Whoa, whoa, look at me, I'm funny. Wah!
Enough said.